ever noticed how easy it is to like someone who's just like you? You meet them for the first time, find out you went to the same college or grew up in the same town, and boom, instant connection. Well, what feels like a happy accident is actually a really powerful psychological principle at play, and we're going to break down exactly how it works.
Yeah, this isn't just you being extra friendly. Turns out we are literally hardwired to connect faster and way more deeply with people who share something in common with us. It's kind of like a mental shortcut our brains use that explains why some conversations they just click right from the start. So that brings us to the big question here. Why? I mean, what is it about finding out you both love the same obscure band that makes you lower your guard and start to trust someone? The answer, it turns out, is all in the science of persuasion. And this isn't just a hunch. The legendary social psychologist Robert Cialdini really dug into this. He discovered that in pretty much any situation, not just in sales, finding common ground is one of the absolute fastest ways to get someone to like you. And get this, even tiny, almost silly similarities can have a huge impact on our willingness to trust. And this all boils down to what psychologists call the similarity principle. It's pretty much what it sounds like. We're just naturally drawn to people who are like us in some way. But this attraction isn't just about making friends. It's a fast track to trust. When someone feels familiar, our brain basically puts a little tag on them that says safe or relatable, and that opens the door for a real connection. So what kind of connections are we talking about here? Well, the list is practically endless, but some of the most powerful ones are surprisingly simple. In actual experiments, people were more likely to say yes to a request from a total stranger if they just shared the same birthday or had a similar sounding name. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it works because it creates this instant subconscious bond. Okay, so understanding the psychology behind it is cool and all, but how do we actually use this, in our day-to-day lives, with a new coworker, a client, or even just someone you meet at a party? Let's turn this idea into a real practical strategy. Really, it just comes down to two simple steps. First, you got to be intentional about it. Instead of just letting a conversation wander, actively listen and be on the lookout for those little points of connection. And second, when you find one, use it. Use it to build rapport. The whole goal is to create that subtle feeling of we, that sense that you're on the same team. Now, I can almost hear you thinking, that's great, but I'm just not that good at finding those things in the moment. Well, the good news is you don't have to be a conversational wizard. There's a simple toolkit you can use, like a set of keywords, to help you guide your conversations and systematically find that common ground. Just think of these 8 topics as your own personal conversation gold mines. You can pretty much cycle through them naturally in any chat. Start with something super universal like the weather, then maybe ask about their last vacation or if they follow any sports. Sooner or later, you are almost guaranteed to find something you both connect on. And here is the absolute key. When you do strike gold and find a shared interest, don't just nod and move on to the next topic. Stay there. Linger on it a bit. Ask follow-up questions. Share your own story. That moment, that shared connection, that's the little seed where real trust and rapport start to grow. At the end of the day, every meaningful relationship, whether it's in business or your personal life, is built on a foundation of connection. And the fastest way to build that connection is by finding what you have in common. So next time you're talking to someone new, don't just talk, search. Look for that one thing you share. It's the shortest and honestly the strongest bridge you can build.